Session 2 is the importance of water baptism. How important is it to be baptized? Can I skip it? Will I go to hell? No, you won't go to hell if you skip it, but if you have given your life to Jesus, why would you not be obedient to what God said? Very important for us to, if you love God, you will obey Him, and He said, get baptized. So, it's part of the Great Commission. We know that the most important commission the church has is to preach the gospel, disciple people, and baptize them. So it's part of the greatest commission the church has ever received. So it's no small price. It's nothing small about it. It's very important. You need to get baptized. So without trying to convince you, I'm just saying it is extremely important because it's part of God's plan for all Christians. Water baptism was a practice accepted by Jesus. A lot of people can say this. John 3:22 is where Jesus actually got baptized as well. We also believe that Jesus wasn't baptized for the same reason we were, because we get baptized into Christ. He couldn't get baptized into Himself. But in the Old Testament, the Israelites, when they had to come and make a decision to do something different or surrender to a kingdom, they would get baptized as a symbol that they give over. And so in the same way, Jesus did the same type of thing. He said, I will get baptized to say that I'm part of this kingdom. So, but water baptism was also an example set by Jesus in Matthew 3:13 and 14. And then water baptism is a part of fulfilling God's righteousness. So Jesus said that it is fitting for Him and also for His followers to fulfill all righteousness. Matthew 3:15 says, but Jesus answered and said to him, permit it to be so now, for thus it is fitting for us to fulfill all righteousness. Then He allowed him, and so He did that. So water baptism is pleasing to God. Obviously He instructed it, so it must be pleasing to Him. Also, water baptism is a step of obedience to a commandment of Jesus. Matthew says it, but it's beautiful also where Peter says it, where he says, where they say to him, what should we do to be saved? And he said, surrender your life to Jesus and get baptized. It's like step number 2 is get baptized. So it's not something you should do 15 years down the road or whatever. If you've given your life to Jesus, you should be obedient to the next step, which says get baptized. So water baptism places us under the force field of Christ's resurrection power. I'll read it to you. When we identify with Jesus in His death, burial, and resurrection, we are placed within the force field of His righteous or resurrection life. Romans 6:4 and 5 says, therefore we were buried with Him through baptism into death, that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in the newness of life. For if we have been united together in the likeness of His death, certainly we also shall be in likeness of His resurrection. So it is very important. It's extremely important to get baptized. No, you're not going to go to hell if you don't get baptized. It's not got to do with that. But it's definitely important to pull that line in the ground where you say, I didn't just give my life to Jesus because I felt like it at that moment and it was an emotional decision, and I did it because I didn't know what else to do. But it's an important next step to say, I've thought about this, I've given my life to Jesus, but I want to confirm that. I want to say to all the world, I want to say to my family, to my friends, I'm going to invite them to baptism. I want them to see this is what I chose. I want to make a public declaration of my faith and let everybody, including the enemy, know that I've decided to be part of this kingdom.